Hey guys, it's Elizabeth. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you how to use manifestation to get to the other side of a problem. If you are facing something very difficult, causing stress, causing problems in your life, it's very easy to shift into a different reality, a different scenario when you put these principles to use. I was just on a family vacation and had a very difficult time. All of the energy systems that are playing out in my family were spiking up and rearing its ugly head. And it brought me back to the basics. When things go wrong in your life, it tends to do that, brings you back to the basics so you can put those principles to use. So if you have not been following me, let me just fill you in a little bit of my history and explain what happened. So I am part of a blended family. I am divorced, my husband is divorced, and we both each have 2 kids that we have brought together into our family situation. So we have stepbrothers, stepsisters, I'm a stepmom, my husband's a stepdad, and I went through a pretty nasty divorce about 6 years ago now, and living through all of those energy systems that tend to play out. If you haven't caught my video yet on pendulums, I will link that into the description below so you can watch that after you watch this, because I think that'll really help you understand some of those energy systems and how that creates some of these problems we experience. But put that aside. When things are rearing up, there are some things that you can do to very powerfully, very easily shift into a new experience. And that is what I'm doing. I will also share with you several examples of when I have used this in the past to instantly shift and move forward. So I'm working on this now for this current situation, but I do have those examples that I think will help you in your own journey. So for me, I have a very, very, very complicated, I'll use the term complicated experience with my stepdaughter. She doesn't like me. She doesn't like the family dynamics, and it's very difficult, as it would be for anybody who was part of a divorced family in their early teens. So we had a few little spats during our vacation, and I became very frustrated. And so did she. I'm sure she's frustrated as well. And so when this happens, when you realize that what you are experiencing in your life is not great, it's not good, and you want to move lifelines, the first thing that you need to do is have awareness. And what I mean by awareness is drawing your attention to the here and now. And in reality transurfing, which is in the book by Vadim Zeland, if you haven't checked that out, that is a must read. The awareness is always the first step. And what he says is to say, I see myself and I see my reality. So in your mind, there's the you, but there's also that observer. Eckhart Tolle also talks about that. And in order to manifest, you have to be able to become present. You cannot manifest when you are in your inner mind being pulled along. So when you are there, you have to understand that reality is like a film roll. When you are in the here and now, that is a script that is already written, already playing out, and there is no power in that moment to change. That is already a done deal. So for me, in this experience, the family dynamics that we were experiencing, there is no way to change that from right now. But where the power comes is knowing that when you become present to the current moment and you snap in and visualize what you want to experience, that's when you can flip to a new film roll or a new scene or a new script. And so that's how you instantly shift out of what you're experiencing to what you want to experience. And so that's exactly what I did. I'm present, I'm here, I'm now, I'm observing what's happening, I'm observing what's going on. And then what I want to experience, and I always think about it in that spot in the back of my head and I feel the energy there, and I visualize happy family, people smiling, people getting along, people being respectful to one another, people being kind to one another, and you can watch how everything shifts. So I used to do this all the time before dinner with my kids, my two ones. I have a 16-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter. And when they were little, dinner time was a stress. It was difficult. The two would bicker back and forth and set each other off. And going into dinner and becoming present and visualizing us passing the food and talking about our day and smiling and supporting one another would instantly create these beautiful, supportive, wonderful dream family dinner times instead of one where we were arguing back and forth and insulting one another, which I tended to frequently experience with those two. So I have done this very powerfully in the past, not only with the dinners, but I also did this through using Neville Goddard's revision technique. And the technique I'm sharing with you today, if you incorporate the two of them together, you will shift it even faster. So becoming present, snapping in and visualizing where you want your script to go, what you want it to be, what you prefer. But then there is also such power in visualizing as you go to sleep because you are tapped into that subconscious mind. And Neville Goddard talks about this as revision. So every night as you go to sleep, think about how you would have preferred your day to go. So in this particular experience, I'm going to sleep and thinking about us having that beautiful, fun family vacation where we're all getting along, all being respectful to one another and having a great time. And so in my experience, when this worked, my most powerful experience of this was when I was going through a divorce. We had a custody evaluator, and he was supposed to issue a report to the court explaining what was in the best interest for the kids. And he went through and did all of these evaluations. We spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this person who basically said that our situation was inconclusive. He couldn't come up with a diagnosis for me or what he thought was going on with me. He couldn't figure out what was going on with the ex. And we paid all this money for him to issue a report that did nothing for understanding where we should go in terms of custody and what was best for the kids. After spending all this money, I was disappointed. My ex was disappointed. It was like we put all this money and he came up with this ambiguous thing that did nothing to support my ex-husband, myself, or my kids. So every night as I went to sleep, I would visualize getting this report from the custody evaluator that was helpful, that explained how we could work together and offer solutions for a positive divorce experience for my children and a shared custody plan that would be beneficial for everybody involved, for the highest and best of all. And within 2 months, I would say, I can't remember the exact timeline, but it wasn't very long after, unbeknownst to me, my lawyer called me one day and said, the custody evaluator has issued a revision to the court, which gave us all of those things. It was a fantastic report. And he acknowledged that he didn't have whatever information he needed to give a full report, and he gave different guidelines. And according to my lawyer, this is virtually unheard of, this kind of thing happening, some kind of revision being issued to the court. So that was really powerful for me in demonstrating how amazing this revision technique works. So if you are in a situation where you experience something that you don't want, some kind of problem, a situation, maybe you lost your job, your house, you got a different job and it's not working out, issues with your family, you cannot change it from where you're at because it's already written, it's already done. But what you can do is take the power, become present, visualize what you want, trust that it will work out, and you need to let go of all of the preconceptions that you have of how it's going to play out or what a revision might look like. And just know that the universe works in very strange yet very amazing ways, and it wants the best for everybody. Trust that and watch how little by little things start to move in the direction that you prefer. And it's always the most amazing thing when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, something shows up to demonstrate this power that the universe has. And it amazes me every time. So I am thinking the best for all of you who are out there experiencing something difficult. And we are here to support you. My best advice for you is to become present whenever you can. Acknowledge where you're at and snap in and visualize. And also use that power of going to sleep every single time, whether it's a nap, whether it's your nightly, I'm going to bed, whenever you go to sleep, lock in to what you want, whether it's what you want in the next moment, a powerful revision, or you're working on manifesting something big, and watch how your life transforms. If you haven't caught my video on using symbols in manifestation, you can check that out here. I think you'll really enjoy it. And I wish you all the best. I hope you are having an amazing day, and I'll catch you in the next video.